All right, guys. This is Paul Singh, the Market Speculator with BullOnWallStreet.com. Today, we're going to talk about relative strength. Market's been crushed of late. If we pull back a SPY here the last week, we hit a high of 248. Now we're all the way down to 242. Been pretty scary. We've had two really big down days overall. In the grand scheme of things, it's not really that significant, and at some point most of these dips end up getting bought. But what do we do in the meantime? What I like to do is build a list of relative strength stocks. And I've actually talked about this every time one of these happens here, going back all the way to 2016. You can look it up in the blog. I do this every time where I build this list of relative strength stocks, and we're doing it again now, and those stocks often end up leading, the ones that hold up really well during these down moves. So that's what we're going to do today. 7 stocks that are crushing the market right now over the past week. Now, we're going to start with 2 China stocks. One is Baidu here, one of our favorites to trade from China. Big breakout here, has consolidated. Now, got hit a little bit the last 2 days, but well within its range here and has done very well. Look at all that green here. Very little red upside volume, which we've been seeing a lot of in this market. So definitely want to have this one on our list. Now, how would I trade it? I would either trade a break of the 9 or the break of this high here around 230. 2 different ways to trade it depending on how aggressive you are. There's no one way that's better or the other. Just know the advantages and disadvantages. Here we're waiting for a little more confirmation, but you give up some gain. Here we can get a bigger gain, but the probabilities are not quite as high, even though our risk reward might be better. So with either of these, it's up to you how you want to end up trading it. BABA, another China stock here, fantastic. Basically, the China, kind of like the China FANG stocks, are performing right now better than the Googles and the Amazon. So that's what we're kind of switching to watching here. And if we see here, this is right at all-time highs here and fantastic volume patterns. We would have no idea if the market has been in a tailspin here. Good earnings, definitely on our list. A little tricky to trade right now. What you could do is just take a shot here, small position size, especially if we got a little value on Monday. Maybe we could get in at 165 instead of 167, and then place our stop either tight at about 162 or a little looser to where we could fill the gap, depending on your risk and your position sizing. So a lot of ways to play this, but definitely a very nice setup here. So that's China. That's 2 of our China stocks. Now let's go to Weight Watchers. WTW has been on fire for a very long time, nonstop here. And all of these earnings breakouts have been good trades for us. So we had the breakout here. Never really got a good entry, but has pulled back to the 9. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to wait to see if this 9 can hold. And then if we can break, say 48.50, if we can break that level, or maybe even 49, one of these two, somewhere in there, that could set up the next big run above 50, and maybe it climbs like it has before to 55, 60, 65, somewhere in there, and we get a nice little run. So that's WTW. Now Snapchat has been crushed since it IPO'd here at around 19, made this nice little pop up to 23, and basically has been in a down spin ever since, over 50% loss here, and bottomed out at 11, and now has been showing a lot of strength. Now, it's a little extended to enter at this point, but I would love to see it consolidate, and then we could get in. Or if it ever does break the 50-day moving average, we could get in at that point. Now, the same pattern basically played out when Facebook IPO'd. It had a huge move down and then came back up. So we'll see if that plays out here with Snapchat, definitely on our list. Again, ignored the market meltdown last week. Another stock that has done that is Yelp. Yelp was a favorite, then it got crushed for a while, and now is back towards highs here, right around 43. Had made it all the way down to 27. They had a positive earnings breakout. We could enter here as it holds a 9. It's a little tricky. Normally I would say wait for a break of this level, but the problem is the all-time high here is a little higher than that, so I probably want to break a all-time high. So I would say either enter right now or wait for the break of the high, and that could set up for the next big move and maybe even testing round number 50 for Yelp. And then finally, one more, one of our favorites here, Ferrari, ticker RACE, R-A-C-E, has been Nonstop here has been on a big run from 86 to 111. Before that, it made its big run from 67 to about 90. Now it's consolidating again, and these consolidations have led to big moves when they break high. So let's watch to see. Does this thing cross? We'll say it's at 111.53 right now. Basically, it's at that level it could be breaking. But let's say if it breaks 112, let's see if we can make its next move higher, and that's when we could hit too. So all of these guys have basically ignored the market meltdown. We could potentially trade momentum here, even if the market is pulling back. The ideal situation is we get in these as we think the market is about to bounce, and that could really set up a big spring forward. So 7 stocks we're looking to trade to the long side. I wouldn't get too aggressive because of what the market is doing. It definitely helps to pair it with a short or a VIX trade, which would mean VIX is going to spike if the market goes down. So if the market does go down, you have some protection. That is actually what I'm doing in the trade report right now that members know about. So that's it for this week, guys. If you want the daily report, you can sign up for it on the Bulls on Wall Street website.